Hello, just leg la. Shakwa dele.
You find difficulty in the...
Mindu langa tab de orish long. Ni roga tawla. Teach chana lagla. Can I show you something?
Oh, yeah, quite early. No,
Oh, okay.
I'm an early bird. To the checkers of Langi.
No.
So, Bhuchung, this is the school, right? It's not very big. It's not very big.
Nam to guest.
Not a very big school. So, so we started in 1987.
Okay. So these
are the classrooms. So those junior kindergarten section, middle school classrooms, and so this is how we display. And they gather because the dining room colors. So that's somewhat gap.
No. She touched the commission.
So it's just within this group. Yeah. So this is the office.
Okay. So commission said the day
because we have visitors coming here. The thing is, I'm free.
Okay. That's all. Di, it's in the Tangbo.
It's in the Tangbo.
Hello. It's in the tea that happened.
No.
It's in the Chuba,
That's in the Chuba. Class 6 and 7. They come in the Kata Chuba.
Let's. Wow. The long has just lost.
Running 35 years.
Long time you use us.
That's the senior most. Board exam totally on study. So we follow the curriculum. So teach this and all. We have all the subjects prescribed by the government of Nepal. And then we have extra subjects like computer and field trips. We focus a lot on the field trips.
Wow.
So don't worry about the dog.
So you are
never
hey, just let the
you don't have to take off your shoes.
That's all.
Let's see. Just get wherever you feel comfortable.
The cameraman.
Background today,
can I show you?
Sugar decrease.
That's all. Oh, that's what
sugar chili there. Yes. Yeah. Okay, the library. What's it?
Go do it.
Okay, that's good.
Class no. Can I chini chumi?
Not chini milk.
No. Brown sugar. Can I give Chita color? Sugar. 수저랑 주기야.
I'm on Charan.
아,
I begin my day with tea.
아, 오케이.
At the Lango Shosha. Betty Cora, Betty Mena, Betty Chick.
마상을서. 나오나. 그냥 저기 취지 같이 생겨.
Not so to the checker at Lansabi.
아니 데일리 루틴도
다시 요게 to the checkers long any the Kasare to get the sunny and it is continuous chair. There are the short meditation which I Kasareta Nambu Tapasmachi is just about 20-25 minutes. And in DJ I start planning for the day. On the summer teaching tradition. That's it. Any purpose say any Kuba Sambhota. And then there I animal level to
that's lost. That's like a switch.
And Bhuchung before I start, that Canada you already know by now. Then you get the high level Kasorati. Pitabuyo Marta. I think this is a Palam Lagati Tojikati test forget the Kasar Captudo. No. Then a China to some to some laptop in the total message in Laptop teacher, the prevention. I'm just stating the fact. Digital Manzo Pegate Dishras, Pejo Marwa laptop Kasar Torum college laptop to this one. We have a problem with Kasarata Chidagi fluency in high level Tibetan.
Kina Tanagazuki, Legend the Kechuta, Shungetsola Loke Roche, Chizolanzo, Mazuzuna, the Redudas, Boy Checo Rochura, as in Zumatungur, Chalenang Damida, Ani, Zumatungu to Tadilla, Koki, the Chilan Kachin Pore, the Tendadilla, the Dele Keche, Kanaki Chalenang Yore, Kanaki. 다 이제 로기주라 디 케지진 아니 지난다 기나 코리고랑 딘데라 지내래 갈라오래 기나다 그게 야 터지긴 거다 되게
was that's a compliment.
No aham moments je kanso ke kina kingena
tense tambote ngal shabana so ani aham din singing the program ji yor ani kuna so the kasare kesanga individual ni so to le kar ke gas kana so then I had no idea about what aham was. Social media sharas the me kasare not too fond of these things so and those some of the okay I'll just go through the so kana so the program they can do and then I'll let you know she and they send I just went through your programs. You have a good message. The message so I was really inspired.
No,
I really appreciate what you're doing.
나온 게나 투체 이게나 tukse 그거 나오더라 닌다 원 투체 스트레인라 나온 게나 먼저 공부 고마 중을라 나 칼라 뜻지존랑노라 게나 모신바에 망보요래 모마신바에 디스티스 거라 되게 동망은 저 고즈에 되게나 모데도 빅스나 한데도
알레 오케이 당에 민께서 노부래 나 별을 개교이 오케이 시가zel
Kela ngani chiko dane kesan shigatse
intro ani ani back in 1959 Nepal amla that like the rest of the Tibetans kanjo sosolombo yukshani ani so de kyakala thambo kyaka kalambo ni yamre ani dj of course I got my education back in Kalampong itself. After that, I went through my college. I completed my college in St. Joseph's College, Darjeeling. Yeah, that's it. So now I've been a teacher since 1987. But they don't lonely longi kigen la chi du zamba ta longi pette koran chetup maso ta tudu samba career sana one of the easiest job that you can find is a teacher's job. So there's education ro and they allow to get a teacher's job. The digit is a longi chevre ta beto kora longi chetu maso Kalsang di poru de la in the second year amla was diagnosed with last stage of cancer. Ani so then tanga namina ni chungshu ta there's yalle chabinza ani I took the responsibility of looking after my mother during her ailment ani dine 1986 amla passed away then in 1986 jela I was wondering what to do. I was still looking for what to do for my future career. Tando I was kind of in a dilemma. It was in the peak business. That day song chegomento awesome day. And then I'm not only Shipshagu, Yamadilla, Kabu Nivata, and you ping at the Tomba, because she's going to Chalamachita, get a shade in summer water. That's what happens in more agriculture now. Chen any chalak na country na so Takesara Karacha the years those daily digmaris canasra. So then I said, like, I have two choices at the moment. Either I go abroad or I do a carpet business. And I told he's into carpet business. And told like Kalsang said, I give you a good advice. You spend your entire childhood till now here in Nepal, and you know a lot of Tibetan people, you are in the community, and the community also knows you. Why don't you open a private boarding school? So it's going to add to the advantages. And and carpet business, you have a lot of challenges. This is the there's Kasare. It's a good idea. So so I made a little bit of research, as we say, and it also also. And they say, okay, I decided, okay, I'll go for a school.
And love that two step go to
1986 November, December to summer 30 chair, any registration chair, and in 1986, 87 years old.
Okay. Until the Sambhota is a tie chick comes into the Kata.
Yes, we might
okay. The sound is a trigger.
Today. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Sambhota. To be very honest, Tubdula was the one to suggest this name. And it made a lot of sense. When I was in a Kalsang Chitagi, the Chizonala Petago Pools or Paint Toyata, and your luxury, the Migudi Inza, and Pebe Minchitana, Yahutu, Samsunga, Digala, and Tubdela Guitar, Kalsare, he advised me to give that name. And those children, Sambhota's chaining, so to Sambhota's chaining, Toga Chimbre. In it, Payushu Thomas of the Mindi. Kasana, Kasara, Gail getting the Pebeming, Kasala pretended Tacho Mares, concert Kasara Tintin and Yevta. So, anyways, they did not allow me. Only those some time. And I bound Toboche ko is a lawyer. So I asked him, right, Sambhota is a Sanskrit name. Can you better call a Hindu naladi your west kitchen? Call us yours. Yours line. Yours. This is another name for Saraswati.
Sambhota.
Oh, and took the sums. So I went back to this thing. I said, look, give me Sambhota. And he says Sambhota is still a Tibetan name. I said, no, it is a Sanskrit name and it is another name for Saraswati. Interesting and Sambhota. Any options?
Jagala is Sambhota in the Lieutenant Banguta, into Kakasha.
That didn't know towards the Yom. Because the Jagagi the Tashung and Jorwa, the Mazo Kerkiche, so Chitang we have no connection at all. No.
Toma the Kerki Loptachik, Tiana, and also Pabachik to do Queen to Temasa. In the beginning, Shaks Kaichumasu, we had no problem at all. As a matter of fact, to do some Sunsen Lapta, Namia Lapta, the people Lapta Yorwa, it's already existing. And to do some Gergi Lapta, Toji Lapta Sangaji already. Yeah, that's also kind of owned by a Tibetan. Because there was an acceptance from the community. And that Gergi Lapta to do some Chechoya Wangja Tetsara Shungi, Nepal Shungi. We had no problem at all. As a matter of fact, it was really, it was a need of the hour, no. In the beginning, it was no problem. There's a for you, because when the Maoba insurgency started, but then, like we say, we learn from problems and difficulties. Yeah, so we were able to face the challenge. There were ups and downs. In the end, it went well. This is my Swiss cuckoo clock. It's just this is just a regular hourly day. It's recorded already. This is a very famous Swiss cuckoo watch. To remind you how the time is flying. Lopte Toma to Sekoju, and the Dinang Zingongi Charle, the management down, the Mambo Lobjong, the Chigura, the Mambujita, Yamdo Chigura, and Dilla Tanzin Chidanda, the Mixe Calore. Manage Nandan Kaninagana.
Yeah, Bhuchung, that's a good question. At some time we had Tanganso Lotuzo. Under the Goroya Pasro, we went almost Nakamen's level. Any boarding check up was Gata Kopshi, if I remember correctly. And to this example, we went for the number quantity cigar. And it was really very difficult to manage. And the Kambokashi level. And the Gangla, because of this Mao's insurgency, Pamacho Samlo Tangdan, the Yorwachik, Chapata, Takal give a tips after that, especially after the 1990s. Pet give a tips. And almost every day it was just a matter of Karsavarata, trying to overcome challenges. It was just been about 8 years now, or years or so. Then we said, okay, that did do some. Ani angta de machai. So that we have kept our number to 300. And 300 layers can't put them as a gear to me. The number of students. That somebody a progressing is we have to tapping you to some Nichilla Logi Devo so these kind of situations led to Zamba and wrestling is a type of Yumudo. So we have at the moment 308 students. After that, the jailer, fees test yapa. Then I was able to offer a good salary for the teachers. We have a small number of students in the school, so everything came under control. That digitism after that, the jailer, so unelagochuna that lapta ge kasarta your management of some halebo kangista me. We are very comfortable in terms of academics, in terms of discipline, in terms of curriculum activities. Because we are able to offer a good standard education for the children. I think in return we have a respect again once more from the teachers and the parents. Yeah, so everything like came down to a good solution.
Kalore. Lobteki Zingondan Dinanglola, Tatsalonchuche, Lomangbuchinra, the Yamyung Trenanglola, Kalore. Pula, Lobzin La Pechora, the Lobzin Label and the Puya, the Dodo, Pugus at the Missus of the definitely. London and Ye, Tromden Society among Butcher, the Lobe the Missus is sort of Chattigura, Dinanglola. Midi Kalore, the Mangboture, young Mangush Zugure, Dinanglola, Midi Gelata, the process the Chama Sura, Dinanglola, Kesha Karesha, Chikmuni, the Gazette Kotuji Check, can I get those to do the Kesha Karesha, the process Dinanglola. Tabujula,
Kesha Situsabata, Terigasa, Unelagochuna, without education, you cannot go very far. It's a necessity. Lobson Mena, also Yagundo. Lobson Yagomena, Yabeta Horachis, Una Lagochuna, Chizo Gesh, teaching law, they will not consider you Kasare and the consideration that was your one. The Dilla Tadri interview Dilla Karshu, some sort of Sanate, make say to the viewers, Chidagim, especially for the teachers and the parents. There are two messages that I would like you all to please pay attention. As much as possible, education actually begins right from the time the child learns to talk, analyze. You may be thinking, how a child from the time he learns to speak is already analyzing a lot of things. He's already experiencing a lot of things. So the development of the child's mentality, psychology, intelligence level, analyzing skills, starts from there. If the child makes mistakes, please, my dear parents and teachers, do not ever criticize in such a way that you destroy the confidence of this child. Once the confidence is destroyed in a child, then be assured the child is destroyed. That's from my experience. Then I've been telling my when you do it, or when you really have to punish a child, make sure that he learns something from that punishment, but not destroy his confidence. There's a proverb. With confidence, half your battle is won. Half of it you have already conquered. You have already successful. Once you have the confidence, even before you start. The confidence, the main, forget about the 50%. You're already given up. And then I cannot do this. Even if the child actually can, he already accepts defeat. And then once you try to develop a confidence in a child, rest assured, he will excel in life. And I've seen this. This is one message to you all, the parents, teachers, for that matter, even grandparents. So, and especially for the young parents. Then the neighbor day, if you make a child study very hard, don't study hard, study smart. So this is my second message. So this year the current there are so many subjects that you have to study. And later when you go to college, you don't have to study half of it. As a matter of fact, for the rest of your life, subject in class 10 we have mathematics, science, social studies, history, geography. So if you want to go and build a career which is related to a science subject, concentrate on the science and mathematics. Be sure you're the topper in the class. Social studies, history, geography, fine, you just pass with 45 marks, 50 marks is all right. So if you're spending 3 hours a day in those subjects, cut it down to 1 hour, give that 2 hours to those subjects which are more important to you. That's where you benefit. After that, when you go to college, you're already prepared. You're prepared with the challenges. You may be the class topper quite easily. So you're already preparing for your future. And that's what we do in the education, prepare the children for their future. So doing and they know it. So don't study hard, study smart. So these are two of my messages to the viewers. I hope it is useful. Of course, the Sambhota qualification the qualification manner, of course, the person doesn't know. So how can he teach? Teach a qualification, and then of course the qualification has to come from a relatively reputed institution. You don't need your qualification. That's the first thing, qualification from a relatively, reasonably good institution. The teacher has to have time. Time to teach, time to prepare for the lessons. And somebody has to have, he or she has to have the love for teaching. He has to be interested in teaching, not just take it up as a duty. So, interview your qualification, that's the first thing I need to see, all the documents. Make sure that you have the time to give to the children. And Sumbadila, you have to have the love for the teaching. Yeah, fourth one, quite important. I think Sambhota has been a stick-free school for over 25 years now. So in other words, this means corporal punishment is absolutely banned in my school. So corporal punishment is another thing that destroys a child's confidence. So I make sure that the teachers do not punish the students in such a manner that it destroys his confidence, destroys the child's identity, and then he starts hating his education. So they catch him. So most of the time, 90%, there's the even a mother slaps a child, that is kind of like there. It is normal, I guess. They advocate to the
teachers. If you really have to punish a child, punish him in such a way that he learns something from the punishment. So when the child has to be punished, so we give them, let's say, about 30, 40, 50 sums in mathematics, and say, okay, stay back after class. And that's what they hate actually. Someone loved to so much koda nang kasre chik then hurry. And console better someone draws at some call jail. The child feels that. So stay back 1 hour, do 40 sums and submit, and then only you go. So if it is an English lesson, okay, do these question answers 5 times each, then you go home. So the child gets this punishment. At the same time, he learns something out of it, and you actually do not hurt his ego and destroy his confidence. But they catch him though. So these are the 4 things I think. Let's say I emphasize on these 4 things. So they catch him.
Now, mitangman so samdang kha yungure so skill set de kha yungure so kha yungura diladi ngajo ta jindaji nanglo laina buji lobjong ta ize injo ko yabu USC bre MSc bre imba nyam ko skill chamba je USC bra ta di indi ko jinda nanglo la kya cha dang jugi district khalawre kange thige na ko skill chamba chena ta khudi sokong la ta lobji gi ani thungu khande jar ko na.
That's another good question, Pujula. Of course, pugo chamachi ko yaw mar so tar repalata ko chune re ani khasa chik lobjong ta khare ne ko dapata khare ne le dilata chide chamba. Not all the children are the same. You have some children who ranga beta kona lobjong beta kona khasa interest bini me yo tene pugo yore to lore to sure even in my school. That's very normal, and that's the way of life. When I have such children, I call them to my office and do a counseling. And I'm very fond of doing counseling to the young children. And I'm not trying to say I'm perfect and I know everything, not that. But the thing is, like, there are certain basic guidelines which you give to the children, and if they follow that, sometimes it really does help. When such situations arise, if you're not so interested in your academics, it's understandable. Don't worry about it, because there are so many ways. It's not necessary you have to be some kind of a master's and PhD holder. There are hundreds of successful people who have not got high academic qualifications. So the important thing over here is what to do to be successful if it is not academics. then you console Kalsang discover your interest. That's the first thing you need to do. If not academic, discover your interest. Now, how do you discover your interest? If you're very fond of going to the kitchen and helping your mother, so when you enjoy doing that, that means you have an interest for cooking. Very good. Develop that interest. Make it a hobby and learn more how to cook. I'm not that sure when there's a party in your home or anything like that gathering, take up the leadership. You learn. I'm not going Jaya Mambo Yore. Taganashi Chilo Kalasata Sagatu Dizuma Kala Nagamenta Batatamenta Mabata Dizuma Katsu or the contest. That is your interest. Concentrate over there. Tamadilla, you become a good cook. You may be one of the best chefs in a 5-star hotel, who knows? Because I know many chefs in 5-star hotels who do not have academic qualifications. So this is it. So discover your interest, develop it into a hobby, and then it becomes your profession. So not necessarily gadget and the you go for master's degree and all this PhD and things like that. That's not necessarily a ticket to a successful life. So a ticket to a successful life is entirely how you develop your skills and interest. So you may be just a class 8 pass out, not a Yusha, because you cannot cope up with the academics. Absolutely no problem with that. Even if my child would go through that, I would not take it as a matter of concern. Take him to the counseling yeah, I think it has helped.
No,
counselors so we are 3 of us. When we there's when we really have to make decisions, it's not just me alone. So we get together and say, okay, this is the problem. So because one person is not perfect, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I cannot accept that. Sometimes advice so we are 3 of us. We get together, we discuss and see how we can solve the problem. We call the parents. So we give them the option. Option is and then it's up to them to decide after that. It's not for us to decide. It's not right. No.
These conditions, COVID, and things and things in artificial intelligence, chat GPT land. But the young Lobdeki system, Singon down, and Lobzen got on the Siguna, the Kandinaguna, the COVID down, the Mixiki, Trijiki to the Yamdo Pazu Ban, Trutuya to the balance statue like Kandinaguna.
Okay, Bhuchung, I did not understand your question exactly.
IT. Mari, IT slow. The Tuju the go shoes tea the things.
No.
The COVID, the Naza didn't lead the COVID layer and some of the lens okay. And began the things that Tuji to Zurota, Tuji Guni, Toguda technology.
Right.
Now, the things artificial intelligence show us chat GPT and leather.
No, okay.
Laure. Kazidem by Mouse, Sajakashela, put into assignment into the online chat.
Okay, I got you. They COVID couple. Of course, the laptop sama go physical classes yomare, any online le chow how or sama, not so chomare, but somebody. Any the Tambo de la Tasukana Halibus, the Yamu IT, artificial intelligence, the AI, the contest, the how it is utilized in a classroom, right, and how you can conduct classes. 지대스마 마라즈레 this Sambhota this jango kasu and tamadilla so we got everybody to kasare participate and sha and all the kasare games or any test training doubles day and the kasare gender conduct chatandit contesting but attendance contest the any is a contest tango met the yarwa don't somewhere on the test Robzaji kasare training doubles check haso dijela so we taught the children also and tawangi men's course and in the beginning the children were kind of hesitant and quite not sure tawangi is jela they were good that's I think that they I guess things are changing on this global context things are really changing fast that they jela and the children they got smarter than the teachers artificial the online classes they did December games or konso kasare jabachi ani go through the so what they used to do is thambudila games or better they are not aware konso karche the samata they have the screen and they take the picture freeze the screen and it's a jaga do that ani games or the konso better they are full. So initially they thought, so he's teaching. In the end of the class, after 14 minutes, suddenly he finds that there are only 2 children in the class. And they were, like it's really interesting actually. Also, you can take it in a positive way.
No.
Then, of course, then we had to think of the kasata. The solution they carry. Then we had to make sure that they don't freeze their screen. But they talk about there are a lot of things that we also got to learn. Of course, the farmers they also got to learn how to use technology. They don't learn parts of accounts because fees taking more. That they physically and so the parents also learn how to pay the money online, all the fees. That there is some money account in all the payments are done online and farmers say so they no. So 90-95% of the parents in the world some of the online payment. So I guess things are changing. Absolutely.
Kena this conditions namgi ngai kunde chazang de condition dige na kena gi kalore so ki music rim nang lo ma chi de chewena ta thring ni ma capture kam si wena ra kena gi kalore su music nang lo la chik ting ni one ya ba chung sha sa proud ke ba aha moment to shura khar chung na
initially I never thought music music I never even thought I would be a teacher. Initially I wanted to be a commercial pilot. But then to cut it short, things didn't happen for many sudden reasons. Taking a ship nashi amla shani ani yamaship shabu yamadela ani the story kasa the possibility of opening the school details so and the chela ani to samlatan desuna laughter chene yawo to chene and thing a thache so I'll do that. That's a for the timing I'll do that. Let's see chene ani the chomshar inele I'm not too sure in which year that was. Manzo, Kamarobishi Java, Shimshu Java Shrabanzo, Lotuzo, Kigenzo Banzo. So we went to Dharamsala. That was one of the turning points in my life. And in Kamarobishi Java, I was so fortunate to be right in front of His Holiness, the continuous. There are laughter chain, Bubuzola, Lobjute, Consopeta, Meza Koran Betakar, Gubataya Be, Rang Lopcho Chedu Reti, pay our. Tagana Kiran Betakara Lopcho Kasa Sonam Sai or Tas. Oh my God. I never thought of that. Neko Resha Sams. Sonam Jisasha Sams. So there was no looking back. And then Betakara Kajagatamba, Watapata, I gave my best to the school. And the Kechishu de Majumigu de change the lives of the children, give them the best that is possible. Kanto to make sure that they have a comfortable life later on. So that's one of the main turning points in my life. I always thought of, okay, I'm opening a school, private boarding school, not bad, it's good profit, I'm making some money, and that's it. Life is if it doesn't work, let's see what will happen. Somewhere not like it could change any time. But then after that, it still is deep in my heart. Mezes dilla so solam sayar ra kasare kugap ra satu ultimately ngacho che nambe che dagar so. That's what our dharma says. So I think I'm blessed.
No, tadi
aham ralisha. Aha, study yagoshasha. So ending is good. So I'm happy. No.
Kina tenda susuki kalore. Journey di nanglola. Ta lobjong la thoma lobjong la tadang lobtal la tadang dan tenda lobjong la tadang lobtal tadang di khaga yung gudu kyoto kharchin sa samgudu.
Education system that ringa sa.
No. Mare kina gi nima thoma lobta chu bekapsu lobtal la tadang lobjong la tadang jura ti da thingsang lobtal la tadang lobjong la tadang jura ti rangja resha Kalsang gyochin sa sam.
Kibata pemisi. There's a huge change. Pemisi kasare kibatepto. Karsana nana many years back, Tangazo Lato Gotsudin, Sotu to go about this 36th running year. So initially, Namata Chigne Lavuchidisamba, there were very few subjects that the children had choices with after class 10. And in terms of career also, Laga Kasare Petene. Shras choices Shras may have done. So you study science, you become doctor, engineer, nurse, teacher, or you study commerce, you work in a financial company or in the bank, or in an industry. Then you study arts, you become a teacher or professor or something like that. That tariqas is another. Oh my God, the choices are so many. That is about the children have enormous amount of choices. So many choices. So I feel they are very lucky, extremely lucky. Teacher, never dilla, Yamata, Zinalachi, giving love, social knowledge, Hotapata, is a pasture. That's the only source of information for you for your studies. Shambadi Kasarta, Lojo Rasadi, Shras Yomara. That Tarikas is another. Actually speaking, you Google your answers. Answers are better in the Google than your teacher, than your professors in the college. Really? You have multiple choices of that same answer. Same question can be. You can make one of the best notes, better than the books. But then, of course, your sense of dedication and diligence has to be there. So you shoot at one. So Bhuchung, you studied down in Bangalore. So in the down there also, the children are the really serious students. It's just 20 to 30% what you learn in the classroom. Remaining 50-60% are outsourced, full of research. So teachers, I think that's a wonderful thing actually. because that's where the challenge is.
Right.
And that's how you develop the real knowledge, gather the real knowledge in the particular subject that you're taking up. You're not just limited to your books and your professor. You should have though. Really?
Now, this condition was so clear. Can I give mixing it and the challenge and the Pugu music do not round swaggy, Charlotte or Sunam say Charlotte or Shra. The project show, the Tigi challenging Langazuki, the Jizo Kyong Nera, Pamatsu Muni by Nere, Gagan Muni by Jizo Kyong Dilla, Tungu Jatang Rojora, Rogan and the Kadich or something.
That day, if you take an example of a child, it's not just a teacher that develops the child's future. It's a teamwork. And how you socialize. That's how you slowly develop into a karsare, an adult human being with proper karsare, ready to face the challenges of life. So I think it's a teamwork, entirely teamwork. Training program in the Mambush Nagutu, and the young Tangazo Zituba Chuchi Tenya, and Thurum to December, there again you have a totally different world. You have so many opportunities to learn so many things. So I think ultimately everything is just a teamwork, how the person develops. It's not just the school. Not the Gigacha or Mari Samadu. No.
Now, somebody can keep it.
Some Lorisha.
No. Taganagi loved us some, but loved it in local Dinangola to the Tire, Nupatare. Tagana, let's say the Kalanam Lesara. Taganagi be Kadit seat and I have. So, what city is such a can I get another good idea? What city is the Agoskora?
That this is a wishful thinking. It's an absolutely wishful thinking. The lot of the chevre, Puma Buchil Lobju Tevre, Losum Jusaraj Tore, the logic of Sare. I'm already 63, 64. I hope so. Thank you.
62.
Yeah. I think it's now the social stay at Yarwa. Check. You have your own a life that you would like to live. That the Tezulesha Samguto. That the Tanamajena maybe after about another 5, 6, 7 years. Lord Dunjuya gave this number, it's too late. Benachashana, if I want to go and visit I have lots of relatives and friends, Chigato, Mamboy, and in fact my brothers and all are there outside. And I like to have a family touch, socializing. That love to you somebody, it's not possible. Because that love to sing it is also better gain somebody. It's 24/7, 12 months in a year. You are still working during holidays also sometimes. So now I have kind of made a small decision. The semi-retirement Palone. There's got Subatav Chei. So Shoge Mangcha Jungi Padong Lagal to be. Ani Suzu Jungi Jela Suzu Tangbone, Takalase, and Suzu Tangbone, some of do me. So only when I'm really required, then after that I just kind of take it easy. That maybe after 2-3 years, maybe I will pull back and employ some really very energetic, young, capable individuals and just stay back and watch. Because this has to continue. bro. Because we cannot consider as a small business or any entrepreneurship that you are where you make some profit and then after some time you hop into another business and close this down. Absolutely. Love to keep your so this has to continue. There are schools who are about 200 years old. This is not, we are celebrating our cultural diamond jubilee, 75 years. So this has to go on, you just cannot stop this. Yeah, I will definitely want to take a soft semi-retirement within this next 2-3 years. And then but then, like I said, the show must go on.
Long those children to the Kalsang Chishirwa. Ni Kalayang and Zo Kamishu Chewatan, how than the Chuna Kala, Mimanzo the Shudo Bend.
Takalakazan Ma de Kasarata to the viewers, makes a tagging issue, Nashi, Pamazoda, young parents especially, Pamazoda, Nigihanzola, Tari name message, please. I'm not perfect, like I said, nobody is perfect. Two of my messages, please pay attention to that. I think it will make a good contribution to your children. Please make sure that you do not lose your confidence. Absolutely. That's the biggest poison that can come into you. Even if you are not very good at academics, don't worry. Follow your dream. Develop your interest. Develop that interest into a hobby, and that hobby will automatically become your profession. And always the best people are selected in the successful rate. So you become the best if you pay attention to it and develop it into a career.
No. That's okay. Aha.